Hello team. Firstly, I just want to say thank you for everyone who sent referrals. We've just finished our first big group event where we ran a whole bunch of business owners. I think there was 30 in the room through a soap. There was a lot of referrals from you guys and we really appreciate it because the event went off really well and it was something very, very successful and something we certainly will be repeating in the future. Now, when we do these sort of events, you start to pick up on business owners that have never worked with Philotimo and you start to think from you guys is what is the difference between someone who's worked with us and hasn't worked with us? And there was a couple of questions that came up where you really appreciate how you guys think. And it's some of the paradigms that we create being business owners and being focused and accountable. And I just wanted to talk about this time of year because we're a couple of weeks off from having a break. And in this period, everyone starts to automatically basically go on autopilot. What do I have to do to finish off the year? Now, that's okay in theory, but what I want to talk to you guys about today is what can I do in the next 2 weeks that gives me a massive head start in the new year? What are the actions that I've been thinking I need to put off till next year, but actually need to happen now? Because if I do that now, instead of trying to warm up people next year or trying to do that, I'll already be in action mode. I'll already be in execution mode. I'll be ahead of the rest. I'll be coming into the new year with a gusto that I know exactly what to execute and this is how I'm going to do it. And you could tell from business owners that are unplanned that they're not even thinking that way. So there's a real advantage for all of us is to look at the next 14 days and say, this is what I'm going to execute because I know if I get this done, I'm going to start next year running, not trying to warm up where every other business owner is trying to warm up and get into it. Instead of starting to be productive in March, be productive January, mid-January, whatever it is. So I want you to have a little bit of a think about what you can do in order to get a jump start on next year. But let's top and tail it. You've got 14 days and after that, start to chill out, start to relax, try and have a bit of a break. I know some of you are open during the Christmas period and that's not always easy, but just think about what you need to do to set up. So for me, it'll be ringing 20 people and booking in my coffees and lunches from mid-January onwards. That way, when I get back, all this stuff's already set up and I'm ready to go. So again, thank you very much. The only other thing I need to talk to you about today is speak to your PIP about the boot camp happening next year. It's not a boot camp per se where you need to do anything differently. It is a focus that we're going to have where every single day we're going to have tasks. And I want to put a little bit of pressure on all of us to make the first quarter next year an absolute ripper so we can set up all of 2020. So your PIPs will have access. They'll be able to talk to you about it. But just tell them if you're someone who really wants to push themselves in that first quarter and go a little bit above and beyond what the norm is. And I know you work pretty hard anyway, but this sort of boot camp focus is for people who are saying, do you know what? I want to make 2020 my year and I want to make sure that first part of the year is going to be focused, intense. I'm going to do the work while I'm fresh and I'm going to set up the whole year to be the best one I've ever had. So talk to your PIP about it. Again, thank you for everyone who sent referrals through. It was a really ripping event. It was great. There was a lot of value, a lot of laughs, and something we'll do again in the future. Thank you again, and I'll see you all next week.